sorry if you have the side view. Not as good, but we'll go with it. Go for the words. Go for the words. It is such a blessing to be with you all here today. Happy Father's Day. Happy everything. Happy Juneteenth. Happy homecoming for me. It truly is my home. I don't care where I am in the world. I walk in this building and there are a dozen years of love that have lifted me in incredible ways. My heart is full and I was in tears listening to the music as I've always been. So I am so grateful to be here. And I'm not sure what's behind me on the screen. That is mine. Okay. I do have this. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but we're going to try. We're going to go with the flow. Today I'm here to talk about, how do I embrace joy and put more in my life? How do I experience more joy through self-care? Well, first of all, we can't really experience joy if we're not taking care of ourselves. If we are not in a place of allowing, it can't possibly come through. But that doesn't mean it's not there. I had an awareness that changed me, without a doubt, changed me. When my sister was dying, we were at one of the worst points in my life. My sister was dying and my dad was in stage 4 cancer as well in the hospital. And the two of them, it was horrible and I couldn't breathe unless I was taking care of putting out fires and then I would try to breathe. That's what life felt like. And I remember there was complete clarity that I found myself laughing at something. It's not children, and they made me laugh. And it was just one of those belly laughs. They were so cute. They were doing whatever they do, and there was just that belly laugh. And I felt joy in that moment. And then I felt guilty. Because how can I possibly feel good at a time in my life when everything is so bad? But the awareness came in that moment that if it's available to me now, it is always available to me. Now that was probably about 16 years ago. And I had the knowing that I don't know what to do with this now, but I will unpack it later. And it turned into my first book, Your Journey to Happiness. Because wherever you are in your life, joy is always there. I didn't understand that it was an inherent quality of divine. I didn't know that I was born with it, that it's on the inside. It never goes away. Whether my connection to it is there or not, that's up to me. But it never goes away. We are taught that we are individualized expressions of divine. But those are words until we feel it. Until we realize the room is dark because I haven't connected with the light. And that's up to me. Did it change? Yep. It works. Okay. So pleasure is always derived from something outside of you, whereas joy arises from within, Eckhart Tolle. So that is not about looking for just to be happy. We all want to feel good. And in the moment, isn't that a great thing? To just feel good, to feel better. And we're in a society that tells us we should always feel good. Bigger, better, faster, more. You have a car, get a better one. You've got a phone, you need a better one. You've got friends, you need more of them. It's always about that higher high, as opposed to being present. I had a moment this week that just shocked me. And there were a lot of things going on that weren't necessarily ideal in my life. And I was driving somewhere, and I was overwhelmed with gratitude. You ever just have those moments where you're just so grateful for freedom, for clarity, for awareness, for who you are, what you know, and nothing else matters because you deal with it when you deal with it. But in that moment, you recognize all is well. I'm driving in my car crying because I'm so overwhelmed with gratitude that I actually had to call people and share it with them, that I felt so good. And I had the awareness as I'm driving, like so many things in my life are not as I would choose them to be. And none of it mattered. In that moment, all was well. So it's so easy to get distracted by how I think I should feel, or by the stuff that gets in the way, rather than living in this moment. So experiencing joy is always here and now, and it's never outside of me. It's not that someone gave me something wonderful. Maybe it was a compliment. Maybe it was a phone call. That's the wonderful. When you are present in this moment, you have the opportunity of that. So I have these self-care suggestions. These are some wonderful practices, and there's a lot of them. I'm sure you could add a dozen to them yourselves. It could be anything from walking in nature, getting plenty of rest, digital detox. It's hard to know how you feel when you're clicking away, and I know I'm speaking for myself, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, all of these different things. Self-compassion, how's that one for you? How's that sit with you? Understanding that you're doing the best you can in this very moment. And how's this? It's enough. It's enough. There's nothing else you need to be doing but filling your cup right now. Whether you're home, whether you're here, you're exactly where you're meant to be, doing, being exactly who you need to be. And it's understanding that. You get to make a routine out of these things if you choose. Now, the more we make a routine out of the self-care, the easier it is to fill our cup, to act versus react to life. When we're doing that, we're present in the moment. When we're present, we're experiencing joy a whole lot more than we could have otherwise. Okay? Now, to me, spiritual tools deserve their own little call out. Because joy is inherent as a divine child. Joy is inherent. However, if I don't know how to connect with that, how do I get there? The best thing we can do is take a pause. And any of these things work. Prayer partners, they're always there. It's a routine. It's a beautiful gift to give yourself. Spiritual community. I don't know about you, when I look in the eyes of all of these people, it makes my heart open in a way nothing else does. You love me as I am. I don't have to be perfect. And that's hard for me to say because I wasn't raised that way. It was okay that you weren't perfect, but it was not okay that I wasn't perfect. It's not okay that I can't stand here as a minister. I need a stool. Do you know that there's emotions around that still? But it doesn't make what I say any less. But you know, when I give it voice, it doesn't take anything away from me. I don't have to feel guilt. I don't have to feel shame. I don't have to feel anything because you didn't even notice. You didn't care. You loved me right where I was. So sometimes we have to say it out loud so we can love ourselves where we are. Honor yourself wherever you are, and it allows that flow of joy a whole lot more. But there's so many different ones, and I encourage you, all of these slides that I'm showing, I will post on CSL Boston's Facebook page throughout the week. So, you know, just a little plug there. Feel free to stop by and follow. And it is a gift to be here, and my community at home, I'm grateful for you as well. So thank you. Okay, next one's up, right? Okay. You know, all of those tools give us an opportunity to align with grace, and that's important. Pina Chauvin said, "Whoever got the idea that we could have pleasure without pain? It's promoted rather widely in this world, and we buy it. But pain and pleasure go together. They are inseparable. They can be celebrated. They are ordinary. Birth is painful and delightful. Death is painful and delightful. Everything that ends is also the beginning of something else. Pain is not a punishment. Pleasure is not a reward." Pain is not a punishment. Pleasure is not a reward. How many of you in this room have loved ones whether they be fathers, grandfathers, or father figures that are not here with you today. Just about everybody. How many of you feel pain over that? Sadness, grief, loss? Every one of us. It's a common thing. It's not punishment. It's just what is. It's the gift of love at its best that we miss it when it's not in the room at the moment. It never goes anywhere. It's a part of us, imprinted on our soul. It can't go anywhere. And in this moment, sometimes it's painful. Acknowledge it. Honor it. Love it for what it gave when it was here present and what it still gives in who you are today. Don't think that it's a punishment and nothing else can happen. When we acknowledge it, rather than run from it or have that place of, spiritual bypass, we get the opportunity to feel it and let it go away like a wave. Let it flow through you rather than get stuck in you. We don't want to stay in pain. That's suffering. That's a choice. Pain happens. Crap happens in our lives. There's some ugly stuff that happens. We look on the news. We look on the television, on Facebook. We look in our families sometimes. And there's things we don't like. And they may cause us pain. But we don't have to suffer in it. We can lovingly bless whatever is and move on to what I choose to make a difference in. You have the opportunity to be empowered by what you don't like. Or you can stay stuck. And it is a choice. And I'm not saying it's an easy choice, but it is your choice. Ernest Holmes said, our ignorance and lack of understanding are the only sources of our undesirable conditions and situation. They are the only source of undesirable situations. Because what's the first thing you learn in this practice? Thoughts are things. So if your thoughts are unkind, unloving, sad, grief, angry, what are you creating in the world? You cannot create love from a place of hate. You cannot create peace from a place of unrest. You cannot allow joy when we're in chaos or self-condemnation or worse, the would-have, should-have, could-haves. Everything that you were meant to be is right where you are right here and right now. You have divine DNA. Anything is possible. The body you are in can heal from anything if you believe it so. If you have the faith, anything can change. You're talking to someone that had 28 tumors in their kidneys when they found them. And through it all, by the end of it all, it was quite the road that I would have rather never gone down. I assure you of that. However, 2 healthy kidneys were the result. 10 years later, normal kidney functions. With still both of them, somehow, I still have. It's a miracle to anyone that looks at it. Doctors are amazed. I am not. I was amazed that I needed the surgeries. I was mad. I expected to be healed. I was pissed. Reverend Barry Fleet showed up the morning after my first surgery. Before anything happened, like as soon as I opened my eyes, he was there. Because he knew how upset I'd be at God. Because I was so sure it was going to be healed. There was a healing of my life in a different way. I only knew chaos. I didn't know how to slow down. I'd have never been the minister I was meant to be if I was on the path I used to be on. So it took what it took to get me where I am today. I don't advise pain as the way shower. I don't. But it's how it got me here. Some of us are more stubborn than others. And any instructor or anyone that really knows you will tell you, I am that headstrong person. Lucky me. And it is lucky me that I am blessed enough. Because my prayer isn't, I want it easy. I want to be this. I want that. My prayer is, what would you have me be, Lord? What would you have me be? Careful with that one. It comes with all the twists and turns. And so, Reverend Christine Hardwitz from Science of Mind magazine this month said, I was living in ignorance of the perfect pattern within me that was never wrong. Instead of being wrong, I was learning. I was gaining, understanding. And the consequences I received were information and not punishment. In the world of form, I witnessed and experienced the consequence of my own or others' actions, as if they were the law of my life. When I learned that the law of life was love or spirit, and put my focus on that, I began to see that the mistakes, in fact, were my own ignorance of my true nature. Your true nature is perfect. Your true nature is love. You are stardust wrapped in skin. You are a miracle. Every breath, every thought, you get choice. We have freedom. We have to remember this and remind ourselves of this, no matter what. We're not supposed to look like anyone else. We're not supposed to sound like anyone else. We're not supposed to like the same things. We're supposed to be different. Spirit made us individualized on purpose. We are, each one of us, the voice, the hands, the heart, the mind of divine. What are you doing with it? Are you recognizing it? Are you allowing it? Are you celebrating it every day? How do you nurture God in you? How do you nurture you? Do you care for your body? Do you eat right? Do you take time in nature? Do you stop to smell the roses? Do you buy yourself them if no one else does? You laugh, but I do. I make sure, if I like roses, why would I wait for only somebody else to bring them to me? I love fresh flowers. Are you getting, it dawned on me, I had my nails done. I had a pedicure and my nails, and I realized, and as ridiculous as it is, it's been 3 years. Now, there's a variety of reasons. The pandemic was the biggest part of it, but it shocked me that I stopped taking that care of myself in that way for 3 years. And I don't say it in guilt, and I don't say it proud, because, it's one of those things, everybody's different. But for me, that tells me something. It woke me up in an awareness that I deserve, you deserve, we each deserve, whether it be a massage, a back, taking care of ourselves, however that looks for you. Whether that be, dealing with energy healing, or I love to have my cards read, or whatever it is you love. Do what makes you happy. Go to a concert. Live life out loud. Don't wait. This is not a dress rehearsal. You don't get to do it again. No one is stopping you but you. And sometimes it's unconscious. So you're hearing this message, so it's not anymore. Your subconscious is letting you know you're on notice. For just 1 second, look at your life and see how perfect it is. Stop looking for the next secret door that is going to lead you to your real life. Stop waiting. It is here. Lev Grossman. You get a choice. You get a choice. What are you doing with it? How do you choose to live your life? Celebrate it. Allow yourself to think about, what do I want? What have I always wanted? Where do I want to go? Who do I want to be? Who do I want to surround myself with? You know how you go to those events and you think to yourself, ugh, don't go. You get a choice. You have those things to-do lists that go on forever. Pick one. For me, if it doesn't fit on a small Post-it, it's too much. That's the thing's to-do list, was the small Post-it. I can take it with me, but other than that, I have to be mindful, because the bigger the list, the less that gets done, because then I worry about it. There's no joy in a 2 pages of a things to-do list. So be mindful of yourself. Really choose. Not events, but outcomes. Visualize the outcomes. Not the cracking of the bat, but the gliding over home plate. Not the inking of the deals, but the kind of life you lead. Not the whens, the wheres, and the hows, but the laughter, the high fives, and the wows. Not events, but outcomes. Visualize outcomes. Remember, the how is up to divine. That's spirit, that's the law. You're the one that puts in what you want. You put in the order. Okay, if you don't want a fish sandwich, you don't order a fish sandwich. So what are you ordering? Every time you think, what are you spending your time? What are you spending your thoughts, your energy on in your life? That's what you're ordering more of. Don't worry about the how. And if it's more outrageous than you can imagine, great. Create a vision board. Start a vacation fund. Do whatever. If you want to go around the world, fine. Start putting $10 a week aside. The energy of that is the right direction. And I assure you, spirit will come to meet you. The universe will meet you where you choose to be. And we have in closing, I just want to have our affirmation, if you can join me. Am I at it? You're okay? Okay, so if you can say this with me. I am surrounded with friendship, love, and beauty, enthusiasm, joy, and vitality, and inspiration are in everything I do. And that is our beloved Ernest Holmes. And so it is. Thank you so much.
Say then to yourself, my body is a temple of the living Spirit. It is spiritual substance now. Every part of my body is in harmony with the living Spirit within me. The life of this divine Spirit flows through every atom of my being, vitalizing, invigorating, and renewing every particle of my physical body. There is a pattern of perfection at the center of my being, which is now operating through every organ, function, action, and reaction. My body is forever renewed by the Spirit. I am now made vigorous and whole. I possess the vitality of the infinite. I am strong and well. The life of the Spirit is my life. All of its strength is my strength. Its power is my power. Every breath I draw is a breath of perfection, vitalizing, upbuilding, and renewing every cell of my body. I am born of the Spirit. I am in the Spirit. I am the Spirit made manifest.